going on, YouTube? R to the double E dash to the Z-O-N, coming at you once again, doing a real quick video as I drive into work this morning. Real gloomy morning, real rainy, dark, kind of morning you just want to stay home and sleep. But you know, gotta get up and make that money, man. Anyways, this is a video further explaining my thoughts on the VGX, Nintendo's presence in the VGX, rather. My last video, if you guys saw it, I did mention that I thought that it wasn't just a regular reveal. It wasn't just a reveal of Cranky Kong as a fourth playable character in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, but rather that it was really a dual reveal. And what I meant by that was, if you noticed, Reggie was wearing a pin. The pin was a Metroid pin. Nintendo has always in the past been real cryptic, real secretive about what they are doing, yet at the same time very obvious about what they're doing. They're the kind of company that likes to basically, you know, from time to time, they like to reveal or wave in the face of the public exactly what they're doing. A big time title or a surprise title, they'll kind of wave it in your face without really coming out and telling you. They like to play with their fans like that. They like to play with the public and with the media like that. And it's no surprise and it's no coincidence that Reggie is there at the VGX, which by the way was pretty much free advertising for Nintendo. For those of you who say, oh, they were, you know, in front of the wrong kind of audience and showing the wrong kind of game. First of all, no, it's not the wrong kind of game. A lot of people think that, even some Nintendo fans think that. I happen to not think that because Donkey Kong Country is a hardcore game. It is a core game. It is a difficult game. It's a 2.5 to 3D, whatever you want to call it, side-scrolling platformer with just incredible design, and it's always a multi-million seller. So it's not the wrong audience, so to speak. Just because it's not a gun-toting first-person shooter, doesn't mean anything. Now, they were there. Reggie was there, and he was wearing our Metroid pin. When asked about why he was wearing this pin, he just simply said that he's always been asked what his favorite games are, and you know that this was just kind of his way of showing what one of his favorite games are. That's a very flimsy excuse, and it's on purpose. It's very flimsy because it's not the truth. It's just him kind of teasing us. But the reason for his wearing the Metroid pin is because everybody knows, even though it has not been verbally confirmed by Nintendo yet, that Metroid is being worked on. It's being worked on by Retro Studios. Whether it's a Prime title or another title in the other M kind of style of gameplay, I don't care. Both of them were amazing. So, but and then the other thing that really tips it off that, you know, this is really going down is that if everybody recalls, earlier in the year, Retro Studios hired, you know, a bunch of people with the credentials to work in first-person shooters. That was the requirements for the people that they hired. Those people needing experience in first-person shooters were not going to be the people who were working on a side-scrolling platformer. Then, you know, Donkey Kong Country gets revealed, and everybody gets, you know, not upset, but kind of like confused about why they hired those people. Well, there was a retro representative at the show. I think it was the guy, if I'm not mistaken, who was playing Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, showing it off to the public. And he was asked flat out by one of the people there from VGX, do you guys have more than one team? Because everybody knows that, you know, traditionally and in the past, Retro has been a small studio that works with Nintendo, and they usually just tackle one project at a time because they were very small. However, we all know, like I said, that they hired a lot of new people with experience working in first-person shooters. So because they hired a lot more people, and because everybody kind of has this buzz and this feeling that Metroid is also being worked on by Retro simultaneously as they're finishing up Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze behind the scenes, they were asked, do you guys have more than one team? And the representative from Retro simply just said, we cannot tell. We can't really talk about that. So you got Reggie wearing the Metroid pin. You've got the Retro representative being asked point blank, face to face in front of the camera, if they have another team. And he, instead of saying yes or no, says we can't talk about that right now. Why? Because they're working on something very secretive, very big, and it's none other than Metroid. We all know that. You know, at the very least, if you want to go on a surprising twist, maybe it's not Metroid, and maybe it's Star Fox or F-Zero. But my money's on Metroid. I do believe we will see an F-Zero, and we will see a Star Fox. And I also believe we will see a Wave Race before the end of the Wii U's life cycle. But I think right now what Retro's working on is indeed Metroid. I don't know if it's going to be a Prime game or another M-type game or another style of gameplay, but I would lean more towards Prime because the people that were hired have to have experience in first-person shooters, and Metroid Prime was more of a first-person oriented game than anything else. But yeah, man, Nintendo's always done things like this, you know, and it's, you know, people were like, oh, you know, they didn't really make an impact at the VGX. It wasn't about making an impact. It was about getting free advertising they did not have to pay for, and you know, and putting as much out there. And they did it in a very smart way, because who knows, maybe if Nintendo would have said, hey, VGX, you know, we're gonna announce a couple of things. Maybe the VGX or the VGX committee or whatever, maybe they would have charged, or maybe they would have had parameters, you know, that didn't really let Nintendo do that. Maybe they just wanted Nintendo to announce one thing and be gone, whatever. So Nintendo comes out and they announce one thing, but to the public and to the Nintendo fans watching, Reggie wearing that Metroid pin and the Retro representative with his response to the question as to whether or not they have more than one team is very telling, you know, to us. And especially, it's not just the Nintendo fans, it's the people who have been watching and following the industry for a number of years. We know what's up, you know, so when we see things like this, we know, you know, what's going on. So it's like I said, it's as if Nintendo really pulled out a dual reveal there. One verbally and you know, right out front and center. The other one kind of subliminally, but noticeably, you know what I'm saying? It was, there was no other reason for Reggie to be wearing that pin. If you remember, I think there was a Nintendo Direct maybe about a month or two ago, and Reggie was, you know, in the Nintendo Direct in his office, and he was wearing a Legend of Zelda pin on his suit. Why? Because they were working on and announcing the Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. So when Reggie wears these pins, when Reggie, you know, or someone from Nintendo has that, where they're displaying, you know, a main character or a franchise in their clothes or in some way, it's happening. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, that's my time. I'm pulling into work right now. It's just a quick video, my thoughts on the whole situation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Comment, subscribe. Let me know if you think I'm on the money, or let me know if you think I'm crazy. God bless y'all. Stay gaming. Peace.